congratulations on your two wins. It's been a while after 2 years because of COVID and everything. So 24 world titles, 11 Asian titles. What does these numbers mean to you now?
First of all, after a 2-year gap, I think I'm just trying to make up for lost time. Not having any championships to play in, and suddenly you have two back-to-back big international snooker tournaments. Just couldn't believe that I won both of them back-to-back because, we're so rusty after the long gap and start and stop kind of preparation and practice that no one would have really expected to gain momentum. But somehow I relied on my experience to get through both the events. Not that I played my best game, but sometimes it's not only about playing well, it's about how you manage your off days. And these numbers mean the world to me. Although I keep saying that at this stage of my career, it's more about finding joy. It's about improving as a cueist because the competition is continuously, improving in quality as well. So you can't really stagnate at this level. You've got to keep improving and, try and make sure that everybody is trying to play catch up.
So, at 36 years of age, you have achieved so much. So what is keeping you going? What is keeping you motivated? And how do you keep yourself motivated to achieve more and to win more?
Sometimes these answers can get complex, and in our minds, we tend to question ourselves that why are we doing this? This is my goal. Okay, I've achieved it now. And what next?
Right.
But if you ask me this question today, the answer is very simple. I love my game and I love my country and I love winning for my country. So when I just break it down into such simple thoughts and beliefs, and I genuinely feel that India needs to be on top in every sport. And if I can do my bit in whatever way in putting Q sport on top of the world and put India on that map, then there's no bigger joy than that, really. And of course, I love playing the game. I love competing. It's been my life for a long time. I mean, without snooker and billiards, I don't think Pankaj Advani has much of an identity. So it's made me travel around the world. I go places because of the game. I represent my country. I'm an ambassador, of the country and flag bearer of the sport.
You speak about representing your country. So Q sports is not an Olympic sports now. It's not even in Asian Games right now. It has been in the past. So what do you think should be done to include these two, the Q sports in Olympics?
Sports was part of the Asian Games until 2010 in Guangzhou. And it's coming back, in fact, in 2030. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So that's good news. That's good news for all the aspiring players. I don't know, how long the current crop and the seniors will be around to represent India in 2030. Only time will tell. Maybe I'll have to be a lot fitter for that. And maybe even prolong my career or, play at the top at that time. But as far as the Olympics is concerned, it's a question that you need to ask the international bodies. As players, our job is to perform, to do the best we can for our country, to enjoy our game, to keep improving, to play in whatever tournaments we can, whatever opportunities we have. Now, Olympics is of course huge. It comes once in 4 years. Of course, I'd love Q sport to be in the Olympics. There's no doubt about it. It's huge. But I don't think it's the be-all of sport. And in Olympics, you can have one great day, and maybe for the remaining part of your career, you may not even win a world championship medal.
Right.
And in fact, some of the Olympic medalists have gone on to say that the world championships have more competition.
Much tougher.
Is much tougher. So let's be realistic. Also, I feel in our expectations and our celebration also of sporting achievement.
You talk about the professional circuit and the amateur circuit. You were once part of the pro circuit for a brief period of time. Why did you come out of it, and what was your experience like in the pro tour?
Well, I've got a lot of views on this in terms of playing in England versus playing all over the world. I do believe that to play snooker at that level in the UK, you need to be based over there for 8 to 10 months in a year. Now, is that everybody's cup of tea? I don't think so. Which is why you see most of the players who performed really well are from the UK or Europe, barring a few Chinese and, an Australian player and from a couple of other nations. But I think for snooker to become truly global, we need to have tournaments all over the world. Now, I went there to obviously improve my game, to become an all-round player, to improve my scoring ability, proficiency and skill. And I honed my skill over there for 2 years.
Mm.
But beyond a point, I said, I can't sustain this, whether it's financially, emotionally. The fact that I'm not even playing for my country anymore, because when you go out there individually as a professional, you're just playing for yourself.
How do you see Q Sports growing in India from now on? And when you started 20 years back, how was the scenario then vis-a-vis now and in the next 10 years?
Playing the game, I looked up to players like Yasin Merchant, Geet Sethi, Michael Ferreira, my coach Arvind Savur, who's given me so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that back then there were more tournaments on television, even nationally. There used to be more events within India.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's in fact changed. There are more international events happening all around the world and probably lesser national events. And that's why this is a question I think you need to ask our federation.
Mm-hmm.
Are they doing enough to promote the sport? Do we have a televised league like the Kabaddi League or the IPL or any other professionally run league, franchise-based league?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that we really need to give our sport an impetus and to make it more accessible and gain more eyeballs.
So do you think a franchisee-based league is the way to go for Q Sports as well in India, like in many other sports?
I think it's the way to go.
Okay.
Because you need to get people to watch your sport, to understand it. And trust me, snooker, I've got married 8 months ago and my wife hardly follows any sport. But the moment she started following snooker, she's hooked on to it. In fact, my nani also, she sort of, when she watches the matches on live streaming, she tilts the camera and, she's trying to make sure that the ball goes in, So people get involved when they understand the sport.
Billiards in snooker has a number of formats. So which do you think is the most spectator friendly and TV friendly, which will aid in the sport's push towards Asian Games and Olympics?
Every sport has to adapt. And in adapting, we can't even lose the essence of the sport. So it has to be a very fine, line that we're actually, the line that we should not cross in terms of, we need to maintain the essence and the true nature of the sport and not go over to the other side where we're making a mockery of the game. But I also feel that we need to go the shorter format way. So in billiards, the 100 points format is very popular, especially in the Asian Games.
Many players we have seen over the years in multiple sports, once they achieve something, their attention span, their performance tend to go down. Not with you. And do you seek inspiration from the likes of Federer, Messi, Ronaldo, all these players who have a long career and they're still right there at the top level, performing each day in, day out?
Yes, I do get inspired by these world-class athletes, whether it's a Messi or a Federer especially. There's one thing that stands out with them, that's longevity. They've been able to maintain that level of performance for a long, long time. So, I obviously have to thank my brother Shri for this, my elder brother Shri, because he's a sports psychologist. And he's really helped me deal with pressure, with stress. He's made me believe in myself so much that whenever I go for a tournament, I'm not even thinking about the result, because I know that if I do my part, I know I'm going to get to the top. But sport teaches you so much. It teaches you how to win, but it also teaches you how to lose. And I feel in sport, you can lose, but you can never be a loser.
I would like to ask you, how much has marriage changed you personally?
I don't know. I'm not too experienced in marriage. It's been 8 months. I think people who've been married for a longer time will be better equipped to answer this question. But it's fun. It's there are ups and downs. It teaches you how to accommodate, to be patient, to be understanding, to compromise, to also share everything with another person. Because when you're single, you have everything to yourself, whether it's your space, your thoughts, and now suddenly you have a companion for life whom you obviously have to share everything with, and you want to share everything with. So that's what Sanya has really brought to the table, in the sense that I have actually a best friend for life now. And while, yes, there have been challenges, I'm not going to deny that. I think marriage has been lucky for me in terms of my game, because, over the last 1.5 years, I've won 29 matches in a row, although in very staggered phases, because we've not had